make another one of our green sauce. I'm going to do our Green Goddess. All right, so what we've got going on with the Green Goddess. I did pull out the blender. You do not have to use the blender for any of your green sauces that you're making. You can do it all by hand. Just finely mince up your herbs and get it, mix them into the other ingredients. The reason I like to do it for the Green Goddess, it will be a little bit more intense color because we're going to be using mayonnaise and a little bit of sour cream, and it really pulses in there and usually helps the color a lot. So we are going to use that. But we do have so some of the other ingredients here. All right, we're going to use a little bit of garlic. So I've got some garlic cloves. Just give them a smash. Now I usually, even when I'm using a blender or a processor, I slightly process the ingredients before they go in. I don't usually throw them in whole because it's not very efficient in the mixer. So kind of chop them up a little bit, or just at least smash them. All right, and this is going to go in. We're going to use a little bit of anchovies for this. This is one of the secret ingredients in Green Goddess. If you don't like them at home, you don't have to use them, but it does give a nice little punch of flavor. Kind of like I said, with all of the green sauces have a little something that's a little bit piquant. Actually, so it could be a caper. Capers might be in it too, or in this case, we're using a little bit of the anchovy, so it's salty. So just a few of them. You can use a little bit of actually the oil is really good in there too. A bit of the anchovy oil. If you don't keep anchovies at home and want to make it, a good substitute is Worcestershire sauce. So Worcestershire has anchovies in it, so that's one of the flavor base of Worcestershire. So a little bit of that. So again, just give a little coarse chop. That can go in. All right, and this one's going to get a scallion. So big green onion. Everything green today. That's going to go in. We're going to find our chives. Again, combination, a few things. So not just scallions, not just chives. We're going to do a little bit of both. So we put the chives in the frittata, and actually that's one of my very favorite omelets at all is just a chive omelet. So just the eggs with the chives in it. And maybe topped off a little bit of goat cheese. That's kind of heavenly for me. All right, so we got our chives. Those are going to go in. Okay, we're going to do the other main ingredient of Green Goddess, the thing that makes it taste unique, is tarragon. So tarragon is the herb that kind of has a bit of a licorice taste to it, like a mild licorice. So not as strong as an anise, but has just a little mild licorice. It's one of the herbs in the herb de Provence, one of the French herbs. That along with, we've got lavender here today, marjoram is the other one. I think it's beautiful, delicate. I use it in my seafood, like lobster. We do lobster salad. I use it in that, the tarragon. Today at the market we did grilled peach sandwiches with a tarragon mayo to go with it. Just kind of interesting. Again, only the leaves. Although the stems are edible, they're just a little bit tough. You don't really want to have them in there, so I'm just pulling them off. Proportion-wise, I mean, you've got recipes, but you don't have to be exact. If you didn't have any one of these things, you could do a little bit more of something else. Or again, you just make it to your liking. Just again, a little bit of a coarse chop. It's going to go in and we're going to chop it some more. And then it gets parsley. I usually use flat leaf parsley. I like the I like the texture of it, the flavor of it. Curly parsley, I'll buy or grow. Actually, I always grow it too because I love the way it looks. It's so pretty. And I'll use that mainly for like tabbouleh salad, for salads. The curly parsley is perfect for a salad. Something about the texture in the salad is so nice. That's another thing that you can do with your herbs all the time is just don't forget. I mean, they're leaves, just like the lettuce leaves. So I'll just pull off all the leaves of a bunch of the herbs and I just throw it in with my salad ingredients just like it is. Don't chop it up or anything, and it adds a lot. A little bit of texture, the flavor. Sure, it's some other kind of nutrients you're getting from them. The stems at the market, at the kitchen, what we do is we make a lot of stocks. We make a lot of vegetable stock. We make our own chicken stock. So all of these, we save all of the stems and from basically definitely the parsley, the thyme, and all that just goes into our stock pot. So again, just across, just of course. All right, those are going in. Like so. I had some I cut up earlier to make a bigger batch, so those are all going in. Okay, we're going to start with mayonnaise. This is one of the mother sauces, classic French sauce, mayonnaise. People put their nose up at it, but it's nothing. Great ingredient. Let's put a little bit of lemon. Now I usually put a little bit of vinegar. We make tarragon, like the tarragon, other thing I do with if it's going bad, any of the herbs you have, and if you have to take a liking to it, you can add them to vinegar and make your own flavor vinegars. So we do a tarragon vinegar all the time. It kind of started years ago. One day we had bought too much tarragon, didn't know what to do with it, and we're like, well, let's just make our own. So we've been kind of keeping it going ever since. So we'll do it with other things occasionally, make our own. All right, we're going to squeeze in a little bit of lemon juice. Again, a little bit of acid. So one of the components of all of these kind of different green sauces. Now I have seen, if you weren't a mayonnaise liker and wanted something a little bit lighter, you could, all those same ingredients in here, put in a little bit of olive oil and some maybe Dijon mustard or something and create a very herbaceous vinaigrette, which have kind of a Green Goddess flavoring to it. Woo! Regular vinegar. You add them in and you steep it in there, and then after about a month or so, we take out the herb or whatever it was, or strain it out, and then it's flavored. It kind of maintains the flavor. So it's kind of cool. We'll do raspberry. We've done raspberry vinegar before. Jalapeno, yeah. So you make it a little bit spicy. And it's kind of nice. And if you really got into it, it's a perfect thing that you could do to give away as gifts. So holiday gift or something to make your own flavors of vinegars. And at the end, you can put a little, like when we did the raspberry, then we put a little fresh raspberries in right at the end, and they were in the little jars. So it's kind of cute. All right, so let me turn this down. All right, so we're going to pulse. We're going to puree this in our little Vitamix here. Beautiful, but you can see it's already getting nice and bright. What I'm going to do is add a little bit more lemon, a little bit more juice to it. Actually, I'll turn it off. I'm testing fate by by doing it with it on. That is one thing we also have at the kitchen is stains on the ceiling from when Vitamix, when they explode. No fault of Vitamix, but just people leave it on the high, don't turn it down. All right, just a little bit more moisture in here. Oh, jeez, it's clear. Going all over. All right, back on. going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. So again, like I said, it's just so nice, so pretty. And then if you want to make it, you can use it as a dressing or as a dip. And the way you kind of play with that is watering it down or thickening it up. And the way we usually thicken it up is we add sour cream. So the sour cream makes it a little bit more dippy. And I usually put in actually buttermilk. Often I'll put buttermilk in it to make it more dressing-y like, and because I also like the little tang it gives. So we are going to make it a little bit dippier for you. And we're going to add some sour cream to it, just so you can eat it, kind of dip in. You can stir it in or you can puree it in. I think I have two. I'm going to just keep stretching. It's just that good. It's delicious on salmon. So I'm not sure if you like, grill either, roasted salmon. It's good on poached salmon. So I'll do a little bit of a salad, Green Goddess with the salmon on it. It's so perfect for the summer. All right, that is it. So that is our Green Goddess. I'm going to just quickly put together a little bit of the chopped up, the chermoula, if you guys are interested in seeing that. And then we can start serving up some samples. So the chermoula is a little tangy. We are going to use a little bit of garlic for this. I got to clean up a bit. So give a smash. All right. So I want to just show it to you like this, kind of coarsely chopped up, so you get the idea that you don't have to have any kind of fancy machine. So what I do with the garlic, so I kind of start coarsely chopping it. I got some herbs in here. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in it, and I kind of go back and forth to make a paste. So this will make it so the garlic kind of permeates the dish without having any real big chunks in it. The salt acts as a little bit abrasive, so it helps you chop it up a little bit and also brings out the moisture. You can see it almost starting getting wet. All right, so we're going to put our garlic in. So we're going to use just a little bit of pepper flakes, a little bit of spice in this one, like so. So this is a chermoula, would be awesome as on fish. I usually do it on swordfish, any kind of grilled fish. It's good on. It's good with shrimp. So I've done it with the shrimp. It's a little dip. Vegetables, all kinds of different things. So we're going to be going heavy on the cilantro for this one. So we're going to just bunch it up. And chop it fine. I didn't worry about all the stems that were up in the top. I'm just going to stop when I get down to the bottom ones. I know cilantro is one of those polarizing herbs. Do I have any haters? Usually there's somebody who's like, oh, I hate cilantro. They say it tastes like soap to them. I love it. The other herb I really like in here normally goes in mint. I didn't get our market at the kitchen, our herb garden. Believe it or not, the mint is already decimated because we use so much of it. And that's usually the one that everyone says it's a weed and they have so much of, but we were short. So I'm just kind of going back and forth, trying to chop this up as finely as I can. like so. And then that's going to go in. So that's going in. We're going to go back to our parsley. I'll probably use the rest of this. And this one, again, the parsley, I tend to do more of the leaves and less stem. The one you have to be careful with the most with the chopping is the basil, because the basil will turn black a little bit. I don't know if you've had experience with that. Again, and that's why we normally suspend that one in some oil. When you make pesto, you basically put oil on those leaves before you even start pureeing it, and it'll help protect them. This is going to go in. The other ingredient that we're going to use is something, again, if you didn't have it, you just leave it out. You don't worry about it. But it's kind of fun to use, something different. And these are preserved lemons. So this is the chermoula, which again is a North African Moroccan dish. And preserved lemons are an ingredient that they use often in their cuisine. So this is what you would put in like a chicken tagine would be seasoned with the preserved lemon. So most of the time with this, you're actually just using the rind of it. So we're going to cut it open. You can use the insides too, but I'm going to scrape a little bit out. They're kind of astringent, kind of like that same concept as an olive or a caper from an astringent